What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Shonen Showdown. I'm your host, Robinson. To the right of me is...
It's me, Jarrod.
And today we got a very interesting debate for you guys.
Yes, we do.
We want to talk about some duos. Again, we want to talk about the best duo in Black Clover, that being Asta and Yuno. And we also want to talk about the best duo in Hunter x Hunter, that being Gon and Killua. We want to find out which duo was not necessarily stronger, but which duo was better. So keep it locked. All right, Jarrod, so there's a lot of ways to break this down. But I want you to I want you to tread carefully here, because this is a very, very deep-rooted topic right now.
Yes.
We're talking about Asta and Yuno, and we're talking about Gon and Killua. So right now, you let me know, which duo do you think is better?
Well, like you said, it definitely is a touchy topic, and since we're not doing it based on overall strength and more like their compatibility, impact, and like overall like ability to work as a team, as a duo, to be particular, I had to go with our new guys to the stage, Asta and Yuno.
Oh my goodness.
The brothers of Hage Village. And we know how to get down. We've seen how they've gotten down.
Oh, yes, we have.
Yes.
We have. But I want you to elaborate on that, because there's a lot of points that I want to get to. Obviously, we saw a fight with Asta and Yuno versus Lich.
Yes.
We also saw a fight with Asta and Yuno versus Dark Elf Patri. Right? We
And
saw and also against the Devil we saw them, but they had a lot of assistance there. Let's just keep it real. I mean, Lumiere was in the building. Yeah. Lich was in the building.
They did have assistance.
Yami was in the building.
Yes.
So let's just make sure we put that on the table as well.
Yeah, that is all on the table, all of the debate.
Yep, but let me know why you really think they're a better duo.
Well, in terms of compatibility, we've seen from the start of the show that these guys, they're orphan brothers, and they've grown up together, they've known each other, but that's not even the part that makes them a duo. I understand their brotherly love, all that stuff, but it's the rivalry between the two that I have to point out. Their rivalry that fuels their powers and fuels their strength. Yuno comes in, you need to step it up, Asta. You know what Asta does? Steps it up. Asta tells Yuno, you need to step it up, I'm going faster than you. Yuno steps it up. And we've seen them reach the heights of their abilities with each other there. When they always come to contact with each other, it's a competition. And we see that competition breeds their true strengths. And they really are a duo because they have that relationship where they know what they have to do. And without even saying words, they're already cooperating together. There has to be no speaking between each other because they know what's on each other's mind.
Let me remind you that Gon and Killua literally walked and infiltrated the Phantom Troop and came out of there unscathed, right? Off of them just basically not even really speaking too much to each other. They were just dropping hints. I mean, you gotta remember, Nobunaga was in the room, right? Gon and Killua are in the room trying to figure out a way to escape. Gon gives Killua a hint and they escape the room, right? Now, this is not the first time that Gon and Killua have really demonstrated their ability to strategize in dire situations. You're talking about, even when Killua is looking at Gon talking to Pito, you see situations like that where Killua has to make sure that Gon holds himself back. When Gon goes adult Gon form against Pito, who saves him? Killua, because he has that connection to Nanika, right? All of these things that we have seen in their teamwork. Killua and Gon are literally made for each other. They are able to save each other on countless occasions. They have saved each other. But even when I'm talking about them being a 1-2 punch, I mean, even in battle, you got to talk about them knowing exactly what they want to do and how they're going to meet up later on. You're talking about even in the Chimera Ant arc, right? Killua's like, all right, you know what? I got to go the UP route. You know what I mean? Gon clearly wants to handle the Pito route because at that time, they believed there was still an ability where Kite could be saved. So we're seeing that they can even split up. They strategize against people like the Phantom Troop and others, where even the Phantom Troop was shocked because they underestimated how powerful they were. And I would just like to mention that Killua is an assassin.
Yes,
he comes from the Zoldyck family.
Yes,
I mean he is an elite battle strategist.
Yes,
and he always looks for the most optimum point where he can kill his opponent. As in contrast with Gon is more of a survivor. right? When Gon is in battle, he will even sacrifice himself. We saw against Genthru during the Greed Island arc. Gon's willing to push his body to the extreme limits just to do damage, right?
Yes.
But they have kind of a teamwork where there's checks and balances, Jarrod. And this is where I do not see this from Asta and Yuno. Okay. And let me tell you why. One example I want to give you guys. Moro. Yeah. Moro went up to Gon and said, "Hey, I want to test your strength before you know where I'm headed." You wanted to test Gon's strength, right? And what happened? Gon almost ended Moro's point in the story right during that episode. But who stopped him? Killua. And that is a perfect example of their teamwork and their friendship and their camaraderie, and where they're able to check each other in situations. When Killua was talking to Nobunaga, there was a point where he wanted to sacrifice himself for the betterment. He said, "You know what, Gon, you got to get out of here. I'll die. I'll act as a decoy." And Gon told him, "No, you're not allowed to do that." That's the way they check each other and they strategize together. Their abilities complement each other. You know what I mean? Gon with being a super powerful enhancer, Killua with his super speed, that god speed ability with that lightning. Yes. His everything. Their abilities complement each other. They work as a team. Sometimes they don't even really communicate. They just know what the other one's going to think before they even fight.
Yes.
When have Asta and Yuno ever done that? Let me know.
When have they done that?
Yes.
Have you not seen the fights? Against Lit himself. Even though it may have been a loss, we seen them come to different. Actually, I like the point you brought up with Gon and Killua.
Even though it may have been a loss, you say even though they may have lost. Okay, continue.
Gon and Killua haven't lost together.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying. Yeah. I just want to make sure
I'm giving you all the facts here, people.
Okay,
I'm giving you all the facts.
Okay.
And I like that you brought up the parallels between their different abilities. Gon being the survivalist, like you said,
right,
and Killua being the more strategist, find out the best opportunities in situations.
Absolutely.
I give him that. That is a fact. And there are definitely parallels between Asta and Yuno. Asta, we've seen, he's willing to push his body to the limit. Literally breaking his body down. Since you brought up single feats, let me bring up single feats also. Okay, we saw in this fight, when he went against the Midnight Sun, Eye of the Midnight Sun, when he went against Mr. Despair, and how he pushed his body to the limit in that fight. And then we see Yuno in himself when he's doing his own thing. He's a smarter out of the two, and he gets his stuff done on his side. And if they work together, Wind and Asta's strength and speed by itself and his key abilities, I don't know. I guess their teamwork is unspoken. I understand there have been more times that Gon and Killua have proven themselves because they have the Chimera Ant, and we've seen them in the tournament together, and they grow in that friendship. But I just don't see them touching the relationship and rivalry between Asta and Yuno right now.
And you see, this is where I think there's a disconnect, right? Because I would like to point out that I think that Asta and Yuno, although they may be powerful within their respective, elements of magic, Asta obviously has, the anti-magic through the demon, and we know that Yuno has wind magic. He also has the wind spirit Sylph assisting him as well, and he has boosted his ability to even greater heights, right? But where we see a disconnect is that Yuno really cannot pull his weight in terms of versatility, right? He's not as versatile as
in what way?
Asta is.
In what way?
And which we saw even during the fight against the devil. He can't go against certain types of magic. Even anti-magic obviously is very, very tough. But even when Yuno was in a lucky situation. He was using, surrounding magic within the area that was able to counter the devil's magic, which gave him an ability to temporarily counter the devil. We know in a normal situation, Yuno would probably be rendered useless in that situation. And we also know when we look at Asta and Yuno versus Lich fight, Yuno was pulling his weight more because he was more skilled, where Asta, if he runs out of that form super fast, his skill set isn't quite there yet. He just unlocked the Black Divider sword, right? And we know he has Lich's Grimoire now. Yes. But he's not as skilled as a fighter as Yuno. So we see whenever they're in battle, and you have to look very, very closely, it's either, Asta's running it or Yuno's running it, and they gotta pull each other up. They gotta pull each other. Somebody has to do something. Somebody has to play the 1B to someone playing the 1A. Somebody has to be the step down.
Like checks and balances.
No, I don't see that I don't see it that way, because when I see Gon and Killua, I see them as equals. They're a 1-2 punch. I mean, and they work in perfect synchronicity. Like, they are ridiculous when they're in battle. They are ridiculous when they are strategizing, even when they are running up the stairs when Yuppie is there. I mean, Killua is remaining calm, Gon is remaining calm, finding out how they can execute the plan properly, how they can possibly save Kite, how they can get things done, right? And when I'm seeing this, I don't see that type of level from Asta and Yuno. Now, when we're talking about the impact of the story, right? As an impact on the story, Asta and Yuno take it. Because of the level of opponents that they have been dealing with.
Yes.
I mean, being able to take down the devil in Black Clover is no small feat.
No, not at all.
Being able to put Dark Elf Patry, in a pressured situation is no small feat.
No, not at all.
Even able to hold off Lich, even though he wasn't fully awakened yet, that is also not a small feat.
They did their best that they could.
but Gon taking down Pito. Actually, just destroying Pito, and Pito actually even coining Gon as having his power level be comparable to that of Meruem's in that state.
Asterisks.
Killua,
special circumstances.
Killua, hold on. Killua having connections with Nanika, who Illumi wants to get his hands on, who Hisoka wants to get his hands on, strictly because Nanika can grant wishes. This is who Killua has backing him. So you have Nanika, you have Killua's Godspeed, you have Gon with his incredible enhancing Nen ability.
Yes.
They are both very keen. They were both trained by Bisky, so we know that their Zetsu, their Nen, everything, their knowledge of the game, everything is just top notch.
Yes.
They, to me, are a better duo because they work better as a team than Asta and Yuno. And they still have a heightened big impact on the story. Now, it is not on the level of Asta's and Yuno's, but the difference between their teamwork, it heavily outweighs the teamwork that I'm seeing from Asta and Yuno. And that's what we saw when Asta and Yuno were fighting against the devil. They needed a bunch of outside help. They needed Yami to come in through with the Dimension Slash. They needed Lumiere. They needed Lich. They needed all these things. Because why? Because right now they are great rivals, and individually they push each other to go higher. But when they work together as a team, there's a lot of inconsistencies. That's why Lich was able to expose that. Dark Elf Patry at some point was able to expose that, and obviously the demon was able to expose that as well. And we saw what happened. Yuno had to play 1B. And literally was like, you know what? Let me increase Asta's mobility with this Wind Blast. Let me push Asta ahead, and Asta landed a hit on the devil. But we know that they don't work in perfect synchronicity like a Gon and Killua. They just do not.
But I feel like it's a good point you pointed out, that they don't necessarily have to be perfect synchronicity to work out. They have the ability to support each other. And that's what a duo and a team is about, People have their own strengths and weaknesses, and they support each other very well. And that's the one thing I want to point out with Asta and Yuno versus Gon and Killua. You did bring up instances. Yes, we all know Gon. He put his stuff out there against Moro, and Moro's like, okay, let me fall back.
Absolutely.
For my career,
absolutely.
I understand that, but these are very special situations that would not have come arise per the story's events. Gon was at the top of his rage. He wasn't dealing with nothing. You could have said something to Gon. You brought up Pito. He's gonna be bringing out every heat,
except for one person. You said Gon was at the top of his rage, and no one would really be able to say anything except for who? Killua.
Yeah.
Killua Zoldyck is the only person that can handle Gon when he is in that form, when he is that enraged. The only person that can even talk to him, have a conversation, get him out of it, is Killua Zoldyck.
I mean, if we remember with that last hit to Pito, Killua was like, Gon, don't do it. And Gon was like, I'm sorry, I have to do it anyways. So I don't know if he really reached him at that point.
But I'm just saying, at his greatest, there is nobody that's going to be able to talk to him except for Killua. Killua has the best shot. Now, is he going to hit that shot every single time? Obviously, in adult Gon form, that's the one crazy case. Obviously not. But when you're talking about a Nen level that is comparable to Meruem's at that point in time, I don't know if anybody, I don't know if even Netero or anybody would be able to calm him down in that state.
No.
In terms of just talking. I'm not talking about fighting yet.
Yeah.
All right? So, I just think Gon and Killua are a better duo, man. They're a better duo through and through, better teamwork. Their impact in the story is still very, very high, even though it's not on the level of Asta and Yuno. They still get the job done. They were able to do incredible things. They were able to pressure and infiltrate the Phantom Troop. They were able to, you know what I mean, put pressure onto the Chimera Ants. You know, even Yuppie was getting annoyed that Killua was landing hits on him. Pito got blown into bits by Gon, split up, body destroyed. I mean, these two kids right here are just none other. Like you got to put some respect on the name, man.
No,
Gon
I
and
do.
Killua,
The individual
better
feats,
duo,
the individual feats are definitely out of this world.
I like the rivalry with Asta and Yuno, but it is not Gon and Killua. It is not Gon and Killua.
Their individual feats are like I can't even on par to like the individual feats we've seen from Asta and Yuno. Not to even knock those two, because those two are monsters in their own right, in their own story. And individual feats, if there's an individual battle, 100% give it to Gon and Killua. But I've been saying they don't stop until the job is done, and their rivalry fuels that. That's what the main thing I'm going on. Their ability to be like, you're not gonna one up me, I'm about to one up you, and then going back and forth. That's what unlocks the new powers, like power breaking barriers between each fight, and that's the main point where I feel like they have the little one up edge over Gon and Killua in terms of teamwork together, how they feed off of each other's energies.
Okay, that's interesting. You guys are definitely gonna have to let us know down in the comment section below.
Yeah, because we can't come to a conclusion.
Yeah, we cannot come to a conclusion. So you guys definitely let us know down in the comment section below. Let us know, do you think it is Asta and Yuno or do you think it is Gon and Killua? And with that, we'll see you next time. Peace.